Hello, 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 hello. Yes, I'm doing another short video. This time we're going to can chicken. Yeah, you heard me right. You can actually can chicken. Now, when you have chicken that's on sale, go ahead and grab you like 10, 12 pounds of it. If you have never done canning before, read the instructions for your canner before you get started. But the easy part about this is you can use this chicken in any recipe you want to. It will retain most of its texture. It definitely will retain great flavor. These are fresh chicken thighs. They are deboned and have the skin taken off. If you use chicken breast, you can do that too, but chicken breast does not lend itself to um, canning as well as thighs do. The thigh meat just keeps up better with the canning process. The chicken meat has a tendency to go a little dry, and you will be able to use it in salads. You'll be able to use it, in stews and things like that. But if you want to take it out of the jar and fry it or something like that, I would suggest you go with the chicken thigh. Now, all you do with the chicken thighs is you take them out of the package, and as you can see right here, they naturally have a little bit of fat on them. You can leave that on if you want to. I tend to not want a lot of fat on my canned chicken, so I go ahead and I just cut it off just like that. I don't cut all of it off, I leave some of it on, but when it has big globs like this, I take that off, and I actually save this and keep it for when I make chicken stock, because a lot of times it has meat on it still and stuff like that. It's perfect for flavoring chicken stock. Okay, the next thing you need to do is you need to have a really sharp knife, so you want to make sure you sharpen it. Usually I don't use this little knife. I use my larger Santoku knife for my meats, but just here for the presentation, I want to go ahead and show you how I do this. So I take this chicken and I cut it into pieces about 1 inch by 1 inch. Since it's not a chicken breast, you don't have the depth. You can't make it 1 inch high, but you should make it about 1 inch by 1 inch, and you just cut these chunks and just put them in a bowl like this and collect it. Okay, now once you get enough to fill your jars, you need a clean canning jar. Make sure you wash these before you actually start using them. Even if you store them on a shelf and you have them closed and everything, you don't know what might have gotten into it. You don't want to take any chances when you can meat. You have to be super clean. This is very important. So you go ahead and you fill your jar to about 1 1/4 inch from the top. Now this is 1 1/2 inch from the top. It actually can have a few more pieces in there. I'm going to add a couple more pieces. There we go. And I use this little tamper here to push it down to make sure that it is really tightly packed, okay? There is a reason for this, because your meat will shrink during the process. It will get smaller, and so you want to have a good bit of meat in your jar after it's done processing. This right here now only needs a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I use Baja sea salt. Don't know if you're familiar with it, but it is high in vitamins and high in minerals, and it is one of the best salts you can have. It's called Baja Gold. If you want to look it up, that's what I use. I transfer it into my canning jars for storage, so it's not in the original package. But here we go. So now I got the salt on top, and all I do is add my lid, screw it finger tight, and it is ready to go into the processor. Now I put about 3 to 4 quarts of water into my canning bath here. You just go ahead, follow the directions for your pressure cooker canner, and see what it says, you know, when it's ready to can. For mine, when I process it, I process it at 11 pounds pressure for 75 minutes. When that is done, your jars should be sealed, and you shouldn't have a problem with keeping them for up to 4 years. At 4 years, I would start being careful with them, but yeah, you can keep them between 1 and 4 years easy. And they will have juice in them just from the chicken, and they'll be perfect. The chicken will be perfect coming out of those jars. There's another thing I wanted to tell you. Oh, I use ball canning lids. And the thing about it is, every time I open a jar and I clean out the jar and take out the contents, this lid, do not reuse that. Throw that away. Inspect this really carefully before you use it again, and make sure there's no rust on these at all. Okay? Because if you have rust on these bands or on the lids, that is going to mess with the seal, and you don't want anything spoiling before you eat it. The other thing is, when you put the chicken in here, when you're done with it, put a little bit of white vinegar on a paper towel and wipe down the rims of your jars before you process them or before you even close them up. That just ensures that you get a really good seal on them. And that's about it. So, showed you how to do it. Now you can go do it yourself. If you have any questions, just go ahead and ask in the comments below the video, and I'll be glad to answer whatever it is that you need answered. All right, guys, make it a fabulous day. I have some work to do here.